Hey everyone, Mike Hidalgo here. Thank you for joining us on another FCP Euro DIY. Today we're going to be working on a 2016 Porsche Panamera GTS. Today we're going to be covering how to change the oil on the GTS behind me using our Liqui Moly 5W40 Like engine oil kit, coming along with a Mala oil filter and a new crush washer and drain plug. The 540 kit is what we recommend for the GTS models. This has a 4.8 liter V8. This is going to be applicable to your Panameras with the V8, the twin turbos with the V8, as well as some of your Cayennes with the 4.8 liter as well. So before we get started on this DIY, let's take a look at some of the tools we're going to need for this job. For this DIY, we're going to need a couple basic tools, starting with a T25, an 8mm hex, a 13mm socket, a 36mm socket for our oil filter cap, a pick, and then we have a 3/8 ratchet and extension. And some nice to haves for this job, but not necessary, are some electric hand tools. Now we have all our tools covered, let's get started on this DIY. Before we jack up the vehicle, this Panamera is equipped with air ride suspension, so we're going to go ahead and put it on jack mode. So what you're going to want to do is hold down this button right here with the vehicle with the up and down arrows. This helps you select between comfort and sport mode. You're going to hold that down until you see on the screen it's going to say level control off. Once you see that, you can comfortably and safely go ahead and lift up your Panamera. All right, my good people, we are ready to start this oil change. Before we go underneath the car, we're going to start by removing the oil fill cap. Just a little crunchy on there. We're just going to set that to the side. Now let's head under the car and get started with removing our belly pan. All right, my good people, we are under the Porsche. We're going to start by removing this panel first. You're going to need a T25. I'm going to put mine on a Milwaukee just to speed things up, and then we'll continue from there. With our panel removed, now we can go ahead and work on draining our oil. You're going to need a hex 8mm to get that off. While we let the oil drain, we're going to go ahead and remove this brace that goes around the front subframe so we can get access to our oil filter. We're going to remove all 7 fasteners with a 13mm socket. Now we've let our oil drain, we're going to go ahead and install our new drain plug and crush washer. I'm just going to clean up this area a little bit. We'll come back to it once we thread the new one in. Again, this is an 8mm hex. You're going to want to torque this one down to 22 foot-pounds. Now that that's all situated, let's work on getting our old oil filter out. Now to get the oil filter cap off, you're going to need a 36mm socket. Once it starts dripping, just let it drip as much as you can. That way you don't have a pile of oil on you. While we let that drain, I'm going to grab our new filter and our new O-ring for the cap and swap that onto our cap. I'm going to use a small pick to get our old O-ring off, just like that. Then grab our new one, feed it on, and that's good to install. You got a little bit of lubrication from the oil already on there. Set that to the side. Now we can go ahead and pull out our old oil filter. Beautiful. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our new oil filter. You'll notice that the inside in here looks a little bit smaller than what came out. You just have to press it onto where it sits, so this allows it from floating around or moving around in there. You'll feel it once it's seated on there. And you can go ahead and reinstall your oil filter cap by hand, and then we're going to torque this down to 25 Newton meters. Again, you're going to need a 36mm socket to tighten the cap back on. Once we snug that up with our ratchet, we're going to go ahead and torque it down to 25 Newton meters. And if you ever forget, it's imprinted right on the cap. Beautiful. Now we can work on putting our 7 13mm bolts back in and then go from there. Beautiful. Now with that taken care of, we can go ahead and put our splash shield back on and finish up this DIY. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the fabric splash shield back on the car. It always helps to have a second set of hands if you have some available. So let's go ahead and get started, and then we'll feed all 21 T25s back in. Now with this secured, we can go ahead and lower the vehicle down and get ready to fill it up with oil. All right, now we're ready to fill up our engine. We're gonna use our CTA no spill funnel. And now we're gonna start feeding in our 5W40. These engines take about all 9 liters, so you wanna fill up and then top off as needed. With our oil filled up, we can remove our funnel. And reinstall our oil filler cap. Awesome. All right, at this point, we have gone ahead and pulled the car out. We let it run for a few minutes so we can get the oil flowing through the vehicle's engine. Now we're gonna go ahead and check our oil level. To do that, you're gonna wanna go through the menu, whether you're using the scroll wheel on your steering wheel or the stock to the right of the steering wheel. This car is equipped with a stock. So we're gonna go through our menus until we hit vehicle. And then from vehicle, you're gonna wanna go forward to reach the other menu. We're gonna go to oil level, hit forward one more time. And as you can see, our oil level is good. It's just below the max, but well enough above the min. So at this point, you could probably take another, maybe a quarter of a liter or so. We'll go ahead and top that off camera, but doesn't hurt to check your oil level when you're done with the job. And there you have it, my good people, another DIY in the books. Overall, a pretty straightforward process on this Panamera GTS. Again, any 4.8 V8 on the Panameras or the Cayennes is going to be a very similar job. If you have an air ride suspension equipped vehicle, don't forget to put it in jack mode before lifting it up. If you like what you saw in this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on what we did today, please be sure to leave those in the comment box below. And if you like this DIY and you want to see more like them, please consider subscribing. We make new ones all the time. As always, thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.